Bound for Glory, ladies and gentlemen. This was a damn good show. I'm surprised. I wasn't really super hyped for Bound for Glory because I wasn't sure what was going to go on with most of the matches, and I wasn't fond of what was going to happen with Gail Kim. So my expectations were not very high, but this show was damn good. Now, I'm not going to talk about DJZ versus Trevor Lee because there was no build whatsoever. It's not the match quality that was the issue. There's just nothing for them to do. So I'm leaving it out. So, Drew got hurt. I'm going to talk about that right now because I'm going to talk about the Grand Championship match. Drew got hurt, probably in Full Metal Mayhem, which I felt did not need to happen. I'm sorry I didn't do my TNA review. I wasn't feeling very well. It wasn't this. I just didn't feel that good. Had like a cold. I think I still have it. Yeah, having a cold and having this is not fun. But I wasn't fond of hearing that Drew got hurt in Full Metal Mayhem. And I wasn't fond of seeing Full Metal Mayhem in the last Impact before Bound for Glory. I felt it was superfluous. It didn't need to happen. And look what happened. Drew gets hurt and looks like he's going to be out for about a year. This just sucked because when it came to the Grand Championship match between Eddie Edwards and Aaron Rex, it was flat. Yes, they gave us an extra 2 minutes for each match, which really helped. And I wouldn't mind seeing that for the final match each time for the Grand Championship title. I really do. I wouldn't mind seeing this. Once a month, the title is defended. Not every week. Have it once a month that the title is defended, and actually make some sense to have it like this. You don't have to have the tournament style. Just have the title defended that way. You can still have feuds with it, but that's just how I feel about it. And to be honest, both these guys worked their asses off. Aaron worked great, and Eddie worked pretty good as well. But it was flat because there was no feud, because they had been building up to this, building up to this, building up to this between Drew and Aaron Rex. And there's no Drew. And having to fall back on Eddie Edwards, I'm sorry, I'm not against Eddie. I like Eddie. But Eddie has not been shown much. He has almost no personality because he hasn't been shown much. And because the X Division's not sponsored, because you can look at what happened to DJZ and Trevor Lee, there was nothing there to work with, and the crowd didn't care. The crowd literally didn't have almost any care, even though it was a good match. Both guys had 1-1, and then when it was all over, Aaron Rex won, but then there was almost no life in it. And that was such a waste. So bad to see that. It was terrible. Now, Moose versus... I'm upset about this because Moose should never been put in this position. They should have either made him a face or left him as a heel because this was too soon. Mike Bennett and Moose should have happened next year around Genesis. Having it done by Bound for Glory because they probably wanted to fill in a slot was dumb. It was not a bad match. Moose, who seems to be new to wrestling, seems to be doing not too bad. He does seem to get tanked a bit. But that's not surprising of a big guy, especially a big guy who's just really just starting in the business. But he did a good job. I didn't hate the match, but the problem is Moose was too... He was rushed. And that's the reason why this makes no sense, because now what's going to happen with Moose? What's going to happen with Moose? He won, but now what? He's going to go after Lashley? And I'm going right to Lashley and EC3. The reason I'm doing that is because of what happened at the end of the show. Because of what happened with the tag team match, because the Decay and I will be getting to them, Decay and the Hardys were so strong, the crowd was exhausted. So when it came to this match, the crowd was about half the interest because they were already burnt out. They literally were. But was it a bad match? No. It was a good match between EC3 and Lashley. They always got good chemistry. And in the end, Lashley managed to retain his title. But then you're thinking, is Lashley now going to go after Moose? Or Moose going to go after Lashley? I don't want to see Moose go after Lashley yet, because he has not done anything yet. He's beaten up on a couple of guys. He's still probably going to be dealing with Mike Bennett, which I know he's not going to because of what happened with Gail Kim and Maria, and I'll get to that as well. But seeing that they're probably going to put Moose up against Lashley is not something I want to see. And then I feel nervous about what's going to happen with Lashley, because Lashley is supposedly getting ready for another MMA match soon. So then they're going to even rush it even more, particularly in the tapings, if they haven't already done it. So this just doesn't feel right. Just to me. The 10-man tag for Bound for Gold. We got Rockstar Spud looking good, hiding. We had Guido go in and out like a Santino Marella and dancing around like an idiot. We have Mohammadi Shira going up against the Tyrus. And in the end, the person who won the shot and can give 7 days notice to go after the title for Lashley is Eli Drake. Eli Drake. Yeah. Oh, that hurts. I can't do that. Sorry. But I'm glad to see that Eli Drake was the one that was going to get it. I thought at one point it was going to be Spud. One point it might have been Jesse Goddard's, which I thought was a very interesting thing to see. If Jesse went up against Lashley, it might be something entirely different. But it's Eli Drake, which I don't have a problem with. I'm cool with that. Ooh. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this hurts a little bit. Let's see. Oh, one thing I forgot to say about the Impact Reign Championship match between Eddie Edwards and Aaron Rex, the lighting sucked. So much ass. I don't know what's going on. It just looked terrible. The light going down and going up, it looked dumb. Now, what do we got here? Am I forgetting anything? Okay. The Hall of Fame for Gail Kim. I'm getting it done now. Was it classy? Yes, it was. Was it great to see Christy Hemme? Oh. Good googly moogly, yes. I love me some Hemme. She's one of the most beautiful women that I've seen. She makes Maria look like gum. And she, flame mignon. That's how beautiful Christy Hemme is to almost anyone on the roster. Then we saw Terrance Terrell, pregnant as hell. It's okay. It happens. I hope she'll have a good baby and the baby will be healthy. Then we saw the awesome one, the Awesome Kong herself. It is good to actually see Awesome Kong. I'm actually glad they all showed up to see her. And in the end, we had the Gail Kim speech and getting her reward. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a watch or a bracelet or a brooch or whatever. I didn't look. But was she talking from the heart? Yes, she was. Did it sound classy? Yes, it did. Am I happy she went into the Hall of Fame? Yes, I am. But am I happy that she won the title later in the night? No. I'm sorry. If anyone thought that Gail Kim winning this title was a great idea, it was not. Jade should have been given the title. Allie should have been given a chance at that title. I just don't understand why they went there with Gail Kim. It just didn't feel right. It didn't. So the match itself was over and Maria lost, but here's the awesome part. I love the entrance. Basically saying there is another royal family of wrestling. Or anytime, I can't remember what it is. It didn't make a difference. You got Brandy and you got Cody. Oh my gosh, Brandy looks gorgeous. She's one of those beautiful women in wrestling. Then you got Cody Rhodes, who just came into that ring and just looked perfect up against Mike Bennett. So we now have a feud between Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis Bennett, Cody Rhodes, and Brandy Rhodes. Am I having a problem with that? no. I have no problem seeing that they're moving on, helping to get someone else over who just came in. And if anyone's telling me that, oh, I can't stand seeing so many WWE guys coming in, dude, TNA has no one there. We have almost no one from the independent scene showing up that has any type of star power. Drew Galloway got star power. Lashley got star power. Aaron Rex got star power. And Cody Rhodes just looks royal. He just does. We need star power in TNA. I'm hoping that Ryback shows up. We need a big power guy. Show Ryback, you got something there. You got now a variation of medium-sized guys, small guys, and big muscle guys. I want to see, what is it? Skip Sheffield. I believe his name is that. I haven't thought of his name in a while. But if Ryback shows up there, I would not be surprised, and I hope they do show him because we need it. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Nope. It's time for the final thing to talk about. Decay versus the Hardys. That was the match of the night. It wasn't just because it was high flying spots. The video quality in the street helped this match immensely. WWE does not do this. Maybe Lucha Underground. I haven't watched Lucha. If anybody wants me to start watching Lucha Underground, I have not watched it since the first season, episode 2. Haven't seen it since. But I thought it had something very interesting because they're doing so much theater than just ordinary wrestling. I thought it was something different. And TNA's taken a page out of that. This segment, this wrestling match was beautiful. They did segments outside. They did pre-showed segments outside. They showed actual stuff going on. Then they went back to the ring. Then Remy originally was taken out because all 3 of the DKs spit in her face. I don't have a shot of that, unfortunately. I was surprised that happened. But in the end, the crowd truly loved this entire match of the war. This made Bound for Glory relevant because it's not like a regular WWE wrestling match. The only time WWE even came close to this is when they did New Day versus the Wyatts in outside, and there was no real great segment. It was shown, but it wasn't shown in the actual match. TNA hit it out of the park with this. It's not the point that they did high-flying spots, particularly that big high-flying spot of Jeff going over that 25-foot high ladder, hitting Crazy Steve, and winning the match. It was the point that TNA realized they needed to add something more. And it's the Hardys or it's Decay that has the outside street segments or just outside segments. Vanguard won spraying mist into Rosemary's face was nice. I enjoyed this more than anything in the entire show. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff in this show that was good. What happened with Cody and Brandy is beautiful. The Hall of Fame was okay. It was good. The 10-man tag when it came to Guido was damn funny because he's an idiot. But in the end, this is what made this show. And I gotta give this, out of 5 stars, I give it 4.5 stars. I don't normally give stars, but I have to say this was good. And the question's going to be now, because we got to understand this. They could have a great pay-per-view, but then from now on, they could have really shitty regular impacts. The question is, now that they understand they did something profound that's going to be something interesting, will they continue building on top of it? Will we have better TNA impacts after this? If we don't, and they start going under par, there was no point in having Bound for Glory. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below. I hope you enjoyed this Bound for Glory 2016 review. Please give me a comment below. I'm sorry I didn't do my TNA review, but like I said, I wasn't feeling well. And I'm very thankful that you guys still like to watch me do these reviews. Give me a comment on how you feel about how I'm doing them. And I'm actually considering bringing back Booking the Wrestler. You guys tell me, do you want me to bring back Booking the Wrestler and start doing TNA guys and girls in those bookings? Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.